Well, it's this is the thing that you keep on going to this is the thing that you keep on going to keep taking your hat off to Vince for. Everybody's listened to this podcast from the beginning. Those 48 episodes, I've shown my disdain and lessened respect for Vince McMahon as a human being. As a businessman, you've got. I'm sure Princeton, Oxford, and Harvard are teaching classes about this. That he's been able to turn this, like you mentioned, and not just slightly declining ratings and house revenues, greatly declining revenues and TV ratings. The TV ratings we've talked about ad nauseum on this program, down 95% from 25 years ago. I've often heard Vince's counter commentary saying, well, to be fair, across the board, ratings are down. That's true. And he often quotes the right number, which is 10%. So in general, programs are down about 10%. Professional wrestling is down 90 to 95%. Hardly a fair comparison. House show attendance is down from nearly 12,000 per event to well under 6,000 and dropping fast. Per capita merchandise sales have fallen from around $37 a head to less than $11 per head. So on every front, that company's heading south. And somehow, what I think this speaks of with the Fox deal, and not just the Fox deal, but the fact that lost in the fervor over the Fox announcement was that NBC Universal, in fact, did resign in the middle of May to renew Raw at triple what they're currently earning. Astounding on every level. So he's been making triple time the amount from Raw and making over $1 billion over 5 years. They had $1.1 billion over 5 years with SmackDown. Astounding from a business perspective that he's been able to do that. But I think here's what's more at work. When I was a kid, we had NBC, ABC, CBS. That was it. We had 3 networks. And you had several affiliates. Like in Pittsburgh, we had, I think, 3 CBS affiliates. In the Pittsburgh, Ohio region, we had a couple ABC affiliates. But in general, you had the 3 networks. Then Fox came along, and then you had the WB and the CW and try to break into it. I don't know how many there are now, but I've often heard the number 500 thrown around and growing every day. Every time I hear about TNA, it's on some different network that I've never heard of. So you have this ever expanding litany of networks out there. We see Hulu, Redbox, Netflix, Google. We have all these different platforms getting into live events and original content. And so you can see that the sweet spot that those of us in the entertainment industry have always known for the last 10 years, the sweet spot was original content. If JP or Chad want to turn on their TV or their computer, they don't want to go to, or their phone, tablet or phone, they don't want to go to and watch the same thing they just saw last night on ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, CNN, MSNBC. They want to see something new. And so original content is held in high regard, but the platinum sweet spot of original content is original live content. And remember the last time that Vince renegotiated, NASCAR had gotten $1.1 billion or $1.6 billion. I think it was over $1 billion for a 5 or 10 year contract. And Vince had gone for the same and went down in flames. His stock dropped 40% because he had held out that he was going to get that and didn't. But now here he is back. How the tables turn. So here he is as the last man standing right now in professional wrestling, and has a product that can still garner a fairly strong, decent rating by today's standards, and he's able to turn that into the tune of $1.1 billion from Fox and triple the amount for NBC Universal. What I'm not aware of is how much the original contract with NBC Universal was worth, but it's going to be a pretty penny. And so you can see why Vince's stock had jumped, approaching $60 from the low 40s just a few weeks ago. An astounding jump. And that's the businessman in me that is impressed with what Vince McMahon is doing. in light of all the negative things. I know how to reverse those trends. What I don't know is how Vince McMahon has been able to turn this into the goose laying the golden egg, so to speak, with the numbers that he's exhibiting. Because if you look at his books across the board, you can see it down everywhere, and yet we see these numbers that we've seen come out last week. I think Vince is a really lucky recipient of the fact that the industry has expanded the way it has, the number of networks and outlets, the fact that so many people are getting their content through tablets and computers and streaming, that, television isn't, like when I was growing up, television was what you had. It was the genre. Now there's all these other multiple applications to get your entertainment from. And the fact that there's so many other networks now, even just television, that Vince has uniquely positioned himself to be able to capitalize on that. Kudos to him. But the question I would have is when and if, because I don't think it's not a question of so much if somebody's going to get into it. When there's this kind of money to be made, how many people right now at different networks do you think are looking at that $1.1 billion and thinking, shit, that's what he got for that crappy show? What could we get if we had a good show on? And, wheels are turning right now. You look and you see with the All In show that the kids have done, astoundingly, sold out in 20-something minutes. And now rumors inside, I don't know if it's leaked out yet, but there's going to be a follow-up show to be announced very shortly. Lost in that is that, help me out, the kid that just wrestled Jericho in Japan, get a brain fart.
Omega.
Kenny Omega. That's where I can't get names of anymore. But that he has a show going on in Florida, in an 8,000-9,000 seat venue that's also sold out. Clearly professional wrestling has not lost its fervor. It's vim and vigor. It's still there. With the type of numbers that we're seeing thrown around now, I've got to believe that there are others licking their chops, looking at how to get in, when to get in, where to get in. And, the question you have to ask yourself is, would Vince have been able to garner these kind of numbers had there been say, WCW in the mix right now, or another company that was close to parity with WWE? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. What we do know is that, unfortunately, right now there isn't another company that's able to stand parity to WWE, and so Vince McMahon has turned it in to the egg that the golden egg that the goose has laid. And kudos to him for doing it. It's astounding, like I said, in light of all the ever decreasing numbers on all fronts for the WWE.